Hello, my name's Prunchius. You've just seen me move a battery using a vacuum lift from a location here to a location just behind me. In this short vacuum safety lift video, we want you to understand 3 key points: why we use vacuum lifts and what are their benefits, some information about the mechanics of a vacuum lift, and also some key safe operating procedures. Let's talk about our first topic. Why do we use vacuum lifts in the first place? 2 key issues for us. There's operational benefits and there's health and safety benefits. Let's talk about the operational benefits quickly first. Using vacuum lifts, it increases the workflow rate of product passing through the process, and it makes our overall manufacturing process more efficient. And I'm sure you can appreciate that in a competitive environment, manufacturing needs to be as efficient and as productive as possible, and vacuum lifts support that objective and that goal. The second key thing for us working in training and for you as an end user of a vacuum lift is health and safety. And there's very, very, very key benefits from using vacuum lifts in the process. It reduces manual handling, reduces the possibility of back strain, and it reduces the number of repetitive activities that take place within the process. So let's look at 2 examples of where we're lifting heavy items without vacuum lifts. Now in this case we're lifting a 12-volt battery, again very dense, very heavy. The lifter is using the correct lifting techniques, but again you can see the strain on the body and on the lower back particularly. The drop zone or the drop area is quite problematic to access, and the lifter has to be very careful when negotiating that particular drop. Now in this case the load has a much greater area, so the centre of gravity of the load is much further away from the lower back of the lifter, and again by referring back to our laws of the lever, the stress in the lower back is greater in this particular case. As you can see from those 2 examples, there was quite severe strain put on the back, but obviously in both cases the person used the correct lifting procedure. But again, imagine if you had to do that lift 10 hours a day, 39 hours a week, 48 weeks of the year. That slow attrition on your system will generate an injury at some point in the future. And that's what we're about here, avoiding potential injuries now and latent injuries that may manifest themselves years down the line. The vacuum lift is normally positioned on a metal pillar which is bolted into the ground using either 4 to 8 bolts. On the pillar then we have the on-off switch. The on-off switch is contained in a white housing, the green switch being for on to activate the vacuum lift, and the red switch for off to deactivate the vacuum lift. It's important to remember where those switches are because, for example, in the case of an emergency, you may have to switch the vacuum lift off. On the top of the pillar then is the actual vacuum motor, and that generates the suction that's applied to the vacuum head. The suction then is applied to the suction head via a hose which goes along a gantry, and the gantry will vary depending on the application and the type of lifting that needs to be carried out within the process. And you will see again throughout the process different types of vacuum lifts, different types of sizes, different sizes of gantries because of different applications. Some of the sequences you've seen today have been filmed at Workstation 1. An important point is, in Workstation 1, the workstation actually says, I need vacuum lift training. So in order for anybody to work at this station, the work instruction says you need to be vacuum lift trained. You don't touch the vacuum lift unless you're trained. Don't go near the equipment unless you've been trained. And that applies to any equipment in the factory. If you have any doubt about vacuum lifts, or any concern or any worry, you contact your supervisor, contact your trainer, you talk to your engineer, talk to someone and share that concern. In that way, you will work safe and stay safe. Thanks for watching this video.